I'm going live, and I am live. Welcome everybody in the stream. Welcome Angela, as usual, first. And, well, tonight's going to be very fun. I'm looking especially forward to this section. This is the Chess Western Province Champions section team battle. So, we were looking at the open section, as they like to call it, just a while ago. And now we're looking at the championship section, and this section is a bit more tough. So we're gonna have some more intense games, but still in the same time control, 5+2, as the previous arena. And I'll go about sending some challenges in 1 or 2 seconds. You can also hit me up with a challenge. I should be quite acceptive of anyone's challenge at the moment. In any case, I'm also just toying with some of the settings. Okay, everything looks fine. Okay, so it's starting in 20 minutes. Oh, this is what I wanted to check. Okay. Okay, the internet seems stable as well. Let me know if the quality is bad and if I'm also lagging a bit. I'll switch the quality down a bit. I've got it pretty extremely high, and this is also a bit too big for game at the moment. Okay. Let me challenge Colvin Clausen. Is he online? Oh, he's online. Let's challenge him to a game. He's actually rocking quite a high rating at the moment. This is some of the highest I've seen his rating at, 2394. I think he's rocked a 2418 rating a while ago. My highest is a 24, so it just gives you an idea. This guy has actually got quite a high rating over there. And the weather has also calmed down a bit, so I'm pretty glad about that. The weather is a bit more calm. We're waiting for Colvin at the moment, and I'm not sure if he is going to accept. I highly doubt it. So, okay, let's maybe send a challenge to one of the other people. Let's cancel this one. Let's see if accumulator, I don't know, I've got the list of names. Colvin, apparently the MRL chess club is joining us tonight, and this chess club wasn't part of it last time, so we can see they are, okay, they're not that clear on. I was asking Burton who MRL is. Okay, let me just play a normal Blitz game. There's still like 20 minutes or less to go. And I'm playing against Wittgenstein, which is probably just a reference to Ludwig Wittgenstein. But something is wrong with the Wittgenstein. There's supposed to be an S, if it's the philosopher the guy is referring to. And Wittgenstein is famous for his language games. I think he's the one that made the experiment asking what would be, or would someone that is confined to a space be able to recognize, or that grew up without knowing any colors, how would they refer to colors? He made that experiment. Okay, I'm going to play c4 and d5, because the guy's just allowing it. They're both tempo moves. Once against the queen, once against the knight. And I'm not going to go back for it later, so I'll make use of it now. Queen check is also tempo, but walks into tempo from him, so bishop moving, this is another tempo move, and it feels like a good square for the bishop. And we'll see what he comes up with. Mr. Wittgenstein. What's up, Masia? You remember, guys, just to let me know if the quality is too poor or whatever. And yeah, Masia and I think, did you make that forum post in the end of the day? We had a bit of trouble, or we're having trouble with leeches. Just in general, I'm actually a bit hesitant to complain about them, even on stream. Especially on stream, I don't want to complain about them. Is the game even recording properly? Yeah, it seems like it. Okay, this pawn is currently pinned. Let's castle. He's got this, okay. Oh, thanks, Masia. It would actually be quite a cool tactic of you to always let me know that my stream's working properly. To outdo me in your own stream later. And actually we've got Mr. Jonathan Livingston here as a spectator. I don't know if he's waiting to challenge me. What the hell am I doing? What the hell am I doing? Oh, let's give away the material. What the... Okay, now's a good time to challenge me. I've had some wine and I'm definitely not concentrating. I'm chucking away my 2200 rating as I've done earlier. It's still 14 minutes to go, so there should be some time for 1 or 2 more games. We'll see if I wake up by then. But I am in the Cape at the moment, as I was saying earlier, so the weather's pretty rough. There's a lot of rain, and I'm drinking wine. We'll see how the chess goes with these conditions. Wittgenstein, does he know he's up a queen? Because he's taking a lot of time. Very scared of me getting some kind of file. And this game is just a joke at the moment. Maybe I can make something out of these 3 pawns. Okay, he doesn't want any of that. Let's just I can't move one of these pawns. I'll be dropping the other. I want to start with rook f2, but then we'll see this move. That's actually quite an annoying move, but I guess everything he does now will be good because he's simply playing up material. Maybe, this game is just bad. This game is just bad. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna resign. Okay. Let's resign over here. Let's see. I think this Jonathan Livingston will be sending me a challenge. Pretty sure. I'll give him a chance as well to decide if he wants to. If he wants some rating, now's a good time to play against me. I just went down against the philosopher Wittgenstein, and this is obviously maybe also just a language game this guy is playing by not spelling the name correctly. While I wait for a challenge, let's speak about what is blurry? What is blurry? The video is slightly blurry. Greg Baker. Okay. I mean, are you watching it in high quality maybe? Because it should be... the previous video I did it in lower quality, but this time around I'm trying to see if the internet will allow for higher definition. So just let me know if it becomes better. Let's accept. This is Angela's account. Let's accept her challenge. Always first in the stream. And she beat me the other day. Look at this lifetime score. I just was not taking her too serious. She obviously learned a lot from the stream, so let's keep this going. Should get my revenge now. Let's see, Greg Baker, do you mean let's see if the quality is better? I don't know. Let me know now, because I mean I've got some time before the tournament starts to get my quality slightly higher. Hi Jonathan, I also see you in the spectator room on Lead Chess. Okay, Angela's going for this typical knight g5 stuff she's seen people do against me. I'll just cut it off for now and one day try and get this knight out, because that's actually an annoying square. If I go h5, then I'll also be allowing some weaknesses. So let's go e4. Oh, that's much better. Okay, cool. Maybe you just adjusted your own quality over there, because I haven't really changed anything. But consistency, the internet here seems quite good. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Greg. Don't be shy to let me know in the comments if anything's not running smoothly. I'm not myself any, like I'm not really a streamer and stuff. I like doing these videos offline because I know the quality will be good, but okay. She's actually keeping, I don't know, this is really good play for 1400. Shouldn't actually be a 1400. This last move is maybe a bit questionable. Now I can take with my knight or my bishop. And at the moment, the question you really need to ask is which piece do you want to be there in the end? So would you ideally like a knight or a bishop to be here? So a bishop would be cool because the rook gets to move. But a knight would be very cool because this bishop is then pinned. So let's start with the bishop then. Just to have the knight be there secondly. And now he's got issues. Because I could even pile up on that piece. Or she's got issues. I could pile up on the piece. Also this pawn is hanging. Because of the pin. Okay, so I was expecting... Keep pushing. What's up, Joseph Mwale? Nice seeing you here, knowing that we've got a few strong players in the chat. It puts the pressure really on me. I mean, it means I can't drink wine before these streams. I really need to bring my A game. So let's just annoy this rook yet again. And that means I'm really bringing the party to this square. Nothing's pressuring me to go after this knight immediately. Although I did want to play this. I'm not sure what she's going to do if I do play it. But it really feels like everything's coordinating really nicely. Not a lot of issues. And Chessmaster Joseph here is Joseph Mwale. I think I'm becoming pretty good at recognizing players' lichess handles on lichess this last while. I got a full list of players because of the USA's stuff, because of Masia and us. We did a nice list going through those names. And then also now I just got another list from Burton von Staden with all the players playing now. So hopefully I'll be the guy with the best preparation in the country for each and every player. Okay, she's not got a good position anymore. I'm also very comfortable on the clock. I'll throw the bishop back. Although it's not necessary, but... wait, is she asking to get mated? Oh, let's just throw the bishop back. Up quite a lot of material. I got stuff like this too. Okay. Well, I've got this rook going here for this check. Let's just do it. Just simplifies the game. I'm not going to calculate too deeply. Oh, okay, cool. Sees it. Doesn't want to be killed by it. Whoa, wait a minute. That's an annoying check. But it can be met by rook check. Opening up the bishop. And that means the queen is going to get hunted. Also, where does the king go? Okay. White resigns. Thanks for the game. Irion is up for a game. Let's just see if I've got 6 more minutes, so let's do this. Come, Irion. I think if he's got one ultimate dream in life, that would probably be to beat me on stream. And we've played the Evans like a million times, so let's do this again. And I'm not sure if he goes bishop e7. I mean, we've played this so many times. Actually, is he up for adoption? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games. I should really be trying to adopt him now. Don't look at these games. These weren't actually chess games. We were trying to play a different game with chess pieces. If he asks. Have I allowed too much now? I should have been playing in the center. Okay, let's just go like this. Yeah, I've allowed him quite a lot here. Let's just keep him from castling for a second. I mean, that pawn is hanging, but we'll make life difficult for the time being. It's a pleasure for the game, by the way. My revenge is brutal. Yeah. I generally don't like blundering my queen against someone, so getting my revenge has to be brutal. It must feel like you've blundered your own queen back again. Let's go knight here. And what next? Just defend the pawn? I mean, Idion's playing quite quickly at the moment. He doesn't generally play this quickly. So that's got me a bit skeptical. I need to think something up quick. Oh my gosh! Oh, he's really farming my rating at the moment. This is bad. Okay. Oh my word. What am I doing? Oh my word. Okay. I need to think something. I need to think of something here. That's just the piece. I've completely forgot about my piece over there. Oh my word. Okay. That's not what I wanted to allow. Okay. Let's just try get back into the game. I highly doubt this is going to go my way. Let's see if I can go back to the tournament. It's starting in 3 minutes, so I guess we'll finish the game and then the tournament will start. I guess I don't really have much else to go for except this pawn, which could maybe allow some play on the 7th. Defending the pawn is also going to take too long, so... and at least maybe I get to take here. So I really need to try this. If knight takes, and bishop takes, rook takes, check. I guess the knight needs to go back, then I've got rook takes, and I might get material back. Yeah, I'll get material back in that line. So that's the line with knight takes here. Although Irion can be up a piece every now and again, he really struggles to convert the game after winning the piece. For instance, here I get the knight back, and looks like he allowed this. I don't know why. Okay, that's just very lucky. In general, I tend to be lucky. That was also possible. Let's go for it now. And let's try and activate the king. Is he going to pile up on the pawn? But my king's now in time. So... okay, I can be very happy with how this ended. This is just pure luck. Now I should be pushing for the win again. Let's just get this pawn up. I think he just doesn't want to embarrass me. That's all. He's the nice guy. There's no tricky business here with the rooks coming down. He needs to play d5 for all of that, but that should be fine for me. Let's see, minute 30 to go. I should have time for most of this. Let's recapture that pawn. And I don't even think I'm... okay, let's go for this. Yeah, wait, I had rook to stop that as well. Let's... can he make a draw like this? I need my pass pawn if I'm going to try and push in this game. So let's just get that pass pawn up. And then king over here somewhere. He can't keep his... He needs to be careful with his king. Oh, this is actually very bad. Wow. Let's keep the time... Let's keep the time situation a bit unclear. He gets this now. Now he's going to be up 2 pawns. I should try and flag him. He's playing well. Whoa, what's happening? Ah! He needs to trade the rook. Okay, draw. That's good enough for me. Let's see if the tournament started. Ah, it's just started. 30 seconds ago. Let's see what Colvin Claessen's up to. Okay, so first game of the tournament is Accumulator 73 versus Colvin Claessen. Sorry for taking everyone down over there. And what we have here seems like a perk. With Colvin playing for the center over now, looking for stuff like King H7, maybe an F5 break later on. And will he be able to make it back to 2400? That would be interesting. By the way, it says number 2. Does that mean someone stronger than him just joined the tournament as well? Okay, there's just someone in the lead at the moment. That's, I think, the only thing it means. He is highest rated for the tournament. And I do have the list of players' names. I'm quickly going to go look for that. So obviously Colvin KHS is Colvin Claessen. And Accumulator is Lyndon Bua. So game 1, which happened around 22 minutes. Okay, so Vincentius is asking we can watch Wiki Cookies. We can maybe do so just now. Just need to watch the top players at the start. So at 22 minutes, we were watching Dr. Lyndon Bua, strong player for Steinitz Club. Sorry, I'm spelling it wrong there. Versus Colvin Claessen. And I think we'll be seeing a lot of these two players match up soon. And who is Wookie Cookies? We can jump to that game, probably next game. It's Michael Cuthbert. Okay, definitely watch a game of his. Playing for Kraaifontein. And Colvin Claessen can be very happy with the setup he's got in here. He's got a very closed game and seems to be stealing some space. Especially the space on the king side is what is drawing my attention as a player. I try and get something like this, and these pawns rolling. And he starts it immediately. This time, I must say, last arena, it felt like Colvin was playing more moderately. He wouldn't jump in for the attack immediately, but h5 is not that type of move. You're really looking for this pawn break. We'll see something like knight f6, g4, oh, rook f6, a different way to get something like this. And also now this rook is actually defending the d6 pawn. He can be pretty happy about this rook lift. I'm going to try and get the rook to g6. Tactically, just be aware of things that could happen. Okay, so we're going to try and watch open files. And okay. And Wookie Cookies. We'll try and get those two games in after this game. This is going to be an interesting game. I want to see in what type of mood Colvin Klaasen is in at the moment, because he did not take that first place last time this arena. Oh, he wasn't playing last time this arena happened. What tournament was I watching him in then? Might have been this. I can't remember it completely. But I want to see in what mood he is. If he's rated nearly 2400, that means he's going to play very sound, aggressive chess. Or Blitz. But accumulator 73. Dr. Lyndon Buha is also not playing around. That rating is quite sky high. That is, I think compared to the previous tournament, he was still 2200. And the big difference is Muhammad Bawadi and I think Muzair. His rating is now not that high anymore, so it's cool. Greg, we'll get to that game. Our first lineup Wookie Cookies for us, and then we'll go back to open files. And Colvin is just looking to keep the position closed while he, before he starts attacking on this side of the board. Psychologically, I'm not too keen for still playing h5, and it's as you're giving white an open file. It's on the queen side, but you can already see Dr. Linden doing something with it. And out of the two players, I'd say Linden is the more aggressive player. He smells that this king is kind of open, and well, for now the route of entry will be via the queen side. But not clear actually. He'd need to open up things himself, I think, if he wants the pawn structure to open on the king side. But we'll see how he does this. Okay, so just another defensive move for now by Colvin. That's one of the things I've noticed about him. He does attack, but only after really preparing the attack. It's not just an immediate attack. You can expect him to just defend his position first. For instance, this bishop move really makes sure that recapturing can happen with a large pawn. I mean, this point is being defended twice. These pawns are being defended. And he feels ready to attack now. And whoa. Okay, so pawn takes, just bishop takes f3. That's why the pawns are getting pushed. And you can play pawn takes, because then you're anticipating pawn takes again. But then you've opened up the h file for the queen, which is happening again. So we're going to see something like h3. Wait, it's a white's move. Black's move. So I'm expecting something like after queen here, h3. And then the knight needs to move again to threaten bishop takes. And this is actually the type of position we saw last time. After something like h3 and the queen ending up here and the knight here. Where Colvin really didn't want to sacrifice the bishop for the pawn. And it wasn't against Dr. Linden, it was against the other doctor. Yeah, so I'm expecting a similar situation where we're just not going to see a beautiful sacrifice, and I'm prepared to put my money on it. So we're going to see knight f6, preparing to sack the bishop. Things I was discussing. We might see bishop f1, which is probably going to scare Colvin off of sacrificing the piece. Or else, how would he defend this? Okay, this is the more active option, but trade and then go bishop takes. Yeah. If he doesn't, oh yes. Okay. Today he's making my heart very happy. I wanted just to see this bishop disappear from the board, but now this is a checkmate threat, right? You can put the bishop all the way back to c1, threaten mate on h2. So you might look for another square for the bishop, something like this or this. I don't know. Where's the best square? You can even take, right? No, you can't take. So he chooses d7, threatening mate in 1. Even if the bishop moves, it's still going to be mate down here. and what to do actually. I think it's game over. Player rook takes, just the spur in the game. But no, okay, so bishop d3? That's looking to prolong the game. Check, king here, check. Not a good game in any case. Whoa! Bishop d3 doesn't even work after that line. Wow. You need to play bishop f2. And then you're getting mated on f2. I want to see this mate happen. Come on, please. Dr. Linden, please give us this mate. Play bishop d3. We want to see this line. With the king on e2. Check on g2. And forcing this bishop to f2. And queen takes f2. Checkmate. King being blocked out by queen and bishop alike. That position I'm looking at. Queen's on g2, the king is on f2. So queen on d1 and the bishop on d3. And Dr. Linden is seeing this, that's why he's not moving. He might just resign. But it would be super cool if he allows us just to see this mate. Well, so I'll have to go to the analysis board just to see it. It's such a beautiful mate, I just want to see it. Okay, so Dr. Linden is not moving. 3, 2, 1. Okay, his time has run out. Okay. And that puts... Oh, only 5 points. He must not be happy with just ending before that 2,400 mark. Ethan Samuel also up there already with a win. Also, no berserks are allowed. And as usual, but now this time we have the MRL Chess Club with us. Let's go look at, I think we said we'll look at Wookie Cookies first. And that's a player for, let's see what he's up to. For Kraaifontein, he's playing against Blackjack 4. So let's go look at the game. It's actually, this looks quite good for him already. These two pass pawns are going to be killer. And I don't see immediate action on this side. This bishop is kind of stopping a lot of things. If you can get the king to h1, it's game over. But how to do so? Maybe, oof. Okay, this game might be over quickly, so we'll look at the next game of Wookie Cookies as well, just to get a full game in. And while that game is going on, that is Michael Cuthbert. So we're looking at that game at 30. And Blackjack 4. I saw a lot of the Blackjack team players changing their names to just simply Blackjack. Blackjack's 1. I'm not seeing Blackjack 4. Blackjack's 1. I don't know if it's Llewellyn or Kenneth. I don't think this is Kenny Willenberg, just by the rating. So we'll just say versus Blackjack 4. And he's now up a queen. He'll be running away with this game. Hopefully we get a resigner so we can get a full game in before going to Mr. Open Files. There's actually a lot of action still waiting for us tonight. Hour 46. And I was saying this is actually good news. This is just a fantastic chess day in general. With Lee Chess having the titled arena later tonight. I'm looking forward, as I said earlier, just to put on some chess network, relax and let someone else do the commentating for me. Liaten Boys, welcome to the stream. You're saying this is Victor Meyren. Thank you so much. I think Victor Meyren will be resigning. So I'll just add Victor Meyren later to the description. In any case, let's get back to well, we'll keep another game on Wookie Cookies. Let's just stay there. Yeah, I'm sure he'll get into a pairing soon. But as I was saying, I'm really looking forward to this event. It's only just starting. We're getting a pairing here. Lion King. Is he hungry for a cookie? An outer space cookie, I assume. Wookie cookie. A little Star Wars cookie over there. In any case, a Karukan type of thing where against English, actually a very symmetrical structure immediately after that trade. something like knight c6, and oh, you can still see the game remaining very symmetrical. Let's quickly see. This is happening around about 34. And Lion King is Mr. Let's go look at the names. Warren Gallant. Okay. This is Michael Cuthbert. And yet again, I was saying this is a very symmetrical structure, but white traded off the bishop pair for one of the knights. So we do have a bit of an imbalance. This is not a bad bishop, by the way. It's not getting traded off for one of the knights immediately. Okay, so this is we need to be patient with this game. See how the players decide to develop. They have gone for a more quiet structure. Not a super aggressive game, but still exciting. Knight a4, looking for this c5 post. You can play b6, by the way. Doesn't seem too strange. But he's prepared to give the bishop pair back. I don't know if I'd be too happy with that. Okay, so now the bishop pair is coming back. But the imbalance is just the opposite side colors bishops, and black seems to be more coordinated on the queen side. So that seems good for him. Maybe one of the advantages of being more prepared on the queen side is the possibility of playing for this square. White might just trade off the knight very quickly and play f5. In any case, if you do have time to play something like queen d8 or queen b7, you should do so just to get out of the fork, forcing to trade down, so that you can try and get your knight to this square and possibly a trade here where you could try and make something. Oh, interesting. Now is your time to play knight h5, knight c5. Okay, keeping his right to play it. Not too possible anymore. Possible though is bishop b4. The bishop b4 seems quite nice. Is there a reason why white's allowing this? Bishop b4, knight b4 also fine. I'm not sure how you're getting to the c4 square or what the squares are you're aiming for. Ah, wait, this is just tactically great for black. Sorry, white needs to go back and defend the rook. And you can go hunting down the a2 pawn. Great stuff there. Michael Cuthbert probably knows he's on stream, playing a great game over here for us. Tactically, this was just a great idea. He's going to trade, go for that pawn on a2. And if he is very lucky, that knight gets to remain on a2 while he pushes this pawn to b3. Tries to do something along the c file. Yeah, he looks like he's going to be lucky. He can play b4. If b3, then this is a new outpost. So really try and make use of the pieces while they are on the squares that they are at. Okay, he retreats the knight. Also sound. You can still make a passed pawn on this side. One of these pawns. Either one would be good for a passed pawn. a4. So he's curating this advantage. Just be careful not to trade on too much material. You need some, like at least the rook around. Like queen b5. I guess if you trade, push a3. You don't want your pawn to become stuck, let's say. I don't know, everything seems kind of good for black. A3 even now, trades, I guess he wants to play rook A2. So... white offers draw. By the way, I don't think Michael will be taking this draw. He's considering A3 and rook A2. One of the nice things is that the rook will always have to guard this pawn. So you've got a bishop just kind of still active, looking after a pawn that the rook needs to guard, and then you've got an active rook. You can free it up, try and get it to B2. Because rook takes A3. Okay. Still seems viable. Yeah, you don't want to get stuck with your material now and walk into a draw. I mean, you want to play something like rook c3, but you don't know if it's a draw after the trades and bishop a4. So he needs to push the pawn manually now and try something like bishop b4, kicking the rook away and trying to get stuff down here. That still seems very good for him. Maybe white's in time to defend a lot of these things. If you go bishop d3 now, you could be looking to just stop some of the action on the b1 square. Okay, so the next player we're looking at is Mr. Open Files. Lion King playing the correct move. I think trying something else wouldn't have worked. Your king is too far at the moment. That's 3 tempo, and stuff can happen by then. We're looking at bishop c3, rook b1, and then just b2. b2. Yeah, I think black should just get the pawn to b2, and even the bishop, he's got time to get the bishop to c1. If he plays something like rook a1 as well. Okay, so he's doing all of this kind of in one shot, but I don't get it now. How are you getting the pawn to b2? No, that was weird. I don't... unless he's going to play b2 and going for this, but king takes. Irion played a warm-up game against him, and now he wants to blame the internet. By the way, Lion King did have no reason to go for this. He could have taken that pawn. King there. And Irion, you should have actually lost that game. I should have flagged you way better. If anyone's supposed to complain about internet speed, it's me. I need to stream and play. So that's like extra data going outwards. So black should really just try getting his king here. Think take the bishop after king takes. Yeah, you should try and fix the pawn so that the king must move, and then you've got the tempo to take. Oh no, by the way, that doesn't work. Rook just simply takes on c1. So that doesn't work. We have Joseph Mwale also spectating over here, figuring out some lines himself. And if Irion, I'll just say to Joseph there in the chat, if he wants an easy target for some rating, he should just send you a challenge over there. Why? Come on, disappear. I did open that. Okay, so he's picked up a pawn by bringing the rook around. The king is also nowhere close from getting rid of this pawn. And it might even be time to transition into a simple endgame. One of the points being that this b2 pawn is lost. Okay, that's just a resigner. Let's go back to the tournament and look for Mr. Open Files. What is Mr. Open Files up to? He's in an endgame, so we'll probably be watching another one of his games where he's looking to draw the game. And Open Files is Riche Thackersey. Well, wait, I just need to see the name again. Open files is... Just completely forgot the name after seeing it. Riche Thackersey. And... This is just an endgame though. I don't know why it's not making another threat on the other side of the board. I guess a5 is just a very bad move to have to deal with in any case. So Kasparovian, I guess. Jacques Basson. Is this the Jacques Basson that I know from... I guess it's not the same Jacques Basson I know from Hostel. Well, I just searched it, sorry. Instead of typing it in on the comments over here. Jacques Basson in the superior endgame, but not playing this too correctly. Maybe if you want to play for more... Yeah, you can trade your king slightly faster now. Okay, he's gonna get this. Okay, so open files is going down. Hopefully resigns so we can see another game. Okay, cool. Hopefully open files gets a bit of a better game in the next game. By the way, what's happening in the big over here? Wookie Cookies, Mr. Michael in the lead, Ethan Samuel, and actually we're still waiting for guys like Muzair and Colvin K to reach the top 10 page. This is actually pretty insane. Half an hour gone. Tough competition here between Steinitz and Cape Town Chess Club. MRL, the new chess club on the page, not too far behind them on 17 points, leading the second half of this page. Okay, so let's see what Open Files is up to. And then we'll be following the top pairings. I think they'll be into their rhythm by then. Open Files hasn't been having a good tournament so far. Maybe not remembering this is 5+2. As I was saying in the previous arena, 5+2 is just, it's a completely different ball game to normal Blitz. And well, mainly the Western Cape wants the time controls to become slower as they are transitioning into online games instead of over-the-board games. Yeah, so normal Blitz is obviously not that good for online games. Allowing players to play quality games through these slow time controls is important. And for those of you just tuning in, I was saying earlier that with this transition, it would actually take a bit of work from players themselves. One of the things I'd recommend is, especially in slower time controls, is to get some kind of move confirmation thing on, so that you're not investing half an hour in a game and you simply mouse slip. Because mouse slip is kind of like the new touch move. And here's Open Files playing against Mr. Dry Pen. And while the start of the game seemed to have tried to provide more excitement, it seemed to calm down. But as I say that, it's typical of the commentator's curse that something like b4 gets played, opening up your own king, but also trying to hit at the structure here. And this is actually pretty sound when your opponent launches a flank attack, strike in the center, and what better time to do so? So we have Dry Pen, who's Mr. Emil Schnabel, playing for Steinitz. Apparently on the lists. That's what I was seeing. MRL. Sorry. Emil Schnabel versus... Where does my typing go towards if I... Versus Mr. Richet. Here we go. Open files. How many open files does open files have? Well, 2. But dry pen is not yet a dry pen and has some ideas. Knows what to try over here. I'm not sure if dry pen should have gone for this. Be careful now. There's a lot of things that are going to happen after this move, especially coordination on this square. So where does your queen move to? Be careful. To defend the knight. And Richet should be taking this game home, I think, after that last move. Even now, moving the king. Remember, there's an extra tempo in the position. If the knight moves, it needs to go to either g3 or... And in that case, the f2 square is also quite a huge square, just hitting at all of these pieces. And I'd be trying to take this rook, I guess, just to take defense away from the bishop. Now the knight's being hit and f2's being hit. Is bishop e3 an option? I don't know. I don't know if I'd play it. Knight c4 check. Wonder if there was something here still with the king. Yeah, there was knight c3 for instance. In any case, knight c3 is not available anymore. Actually making quite a big threat here. Using both the open files as the name suggests of the user. This is the type of chess we like seeing, just sticking to the username. Obviously I need to play like a South African ostrich. Need to put my head in the sand, pretend I don't see my opponent's rating and just fly forwards, or kind of fly forwards. Okay, so interesting. Thinking that the tempo move will be against that pawn. I don't know. This is... yeah. Black should find something here, I guess. Queen b6. This really feels like you want it to work. You want knight c6 to work somehow. You can simply move the knight to one of the more quiet squares, or you can keep the tension and go queen e5. Now queen b6, queen b6 was interesting because I was looking at allowing queen f4 check. I did not like it too much because now you're getting the queen off of the file that the discovery is being worked with. But I guess it might be good because at the end of the day, after queen check, king a8, then you've also got some pressure on the c3 square as well as the b4 square. So that 2 points of weakness, and don't see a clear way of dealing with both. Thanks, Mr. Greg. Andre Rudd, Corona, like, please watch Coronavirus. Is that an account name? And is my mind deceiving me? Is that how you spell Corona? Okay, now this is actually maybe the best move by White, deciding that there is no good discovery. Trying a lot of things. I was trying just capturing here a lot of times, so there's unfortunately no tactic at the end of that. This must be quite frustrating for black. I'll just play king a8 and try the tactic a bit later. White's king is already more exposed after h3. There's a lot of holes here. You can even go after that pawn. But no tactics just yet. Actually very frustrating, to be honest. Trying to make something work here. Just the queen is kind of just capturing the knight wherever it goes to when it's trying to be aggressive with the discovery. Okay, so going for something I actually quite like. Still, yet again, I think the check, and then you've got to deal with this pawn and this check. So, kind of making the same point. Knight falls back. Wow. What to do here? You just want to. I just want to win this game now for black. This is so frustrating. What to do? What to do? You hold on to your rook maybe to keep the tension. Do you trade? And then take on b4. Trading and taking on b4 seems to make sense. There you go. That is the move. That is the knockout blow. This knight was stopping that discovery because it was always possible to go queen takes. Now you need to give two pieces. You need to give kind of the exchange up. Knight and a rook for a queen and an exposed king, which makes black to be preferred quite a bit. If the king was still safe behind a pawn or something, it would have been okay for white. But even stuff like this, you can already see how white's losing some material. The two rooks aren't coordinating. This rook is also coming in pretty soon. Not sure what that's about. Maybe if he wanted to go for this check, he could have gone for it immediately. That is a strange move. Okay, maybe he was preempting rook c1 so that he can come for this. Okay, so I'm guessing rook c6 is his plan. Maybe even rook e5. And white needs to be careful. You can't move the rook. You're losing. Oh, black needs to be careful. Black needs to be careful. That's a mate threat. Oh no. Oh no, what? Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. You just blundered. Just blundered the game away. There's nothing to do here. No checks work. Maybe you've got rook a2, queen check. That's your best option. Wow. Rook c6. Is there anything else to do here except give that check? That was actually so weird. I didn't even consider how strong rook d2 was. That is heartbreaking. White is suddenly won because of that checkmating idea. Okay, this is a more sound option. Richer is taking, and part of what I like about the option is that that white is down to under 40 seconds. So playing this type of endgame is not the worst. Mr. Schnabel. Mr. Drypen is not done writing. The story is not over. Finding that crazy rook c2 move. Threatening mate, threatening the queen, and saying I'll hang that knight for the time being. I'm going to just quickly have to go to the computer analysis after this. That was pretty insane. You need to keep the rook around. So, for instance, you can't take the rook over there. Even this loses now. Rook trades and you can simply push g5. That's game over. The king is too far away. By the way, the box is this big. Why isn't white pushing the pawn? Black will now run his king over. Try and get rid of one or two of these pawns. And, well, white's knight can defend the pawn, I guess, just from a2. The box is now, is it big enough? G5, and then you push the pawn. It was still possible to push the pawn. Black's actually got quite a good relationship here between the two pawns. If king takes, you can push the other pawn. King goes back. How do you do it again? Do you push this pawn? No. King needs to walk like this. So, what do you do? If you push this pawn, king takes, and that pawn can't go through. So, he needs to move the king. Yeah. Now I guess you push a4. No, you just move your king again. Don't. If the king takes, then you can try pushing this pawn. Try get the knight to move and then go after these pawns. That's actually quite a good idea. So move the king again. White offers draw and they make a draw. That is insane. Is this a draw? I don't believe them. That was definitely not a draw. By the way, black is winning by 4 here. The suggested move was queen e4 check, going for my idea. But now the winning move would have been rook e2, rook a6. What were we missing? Queen a6 check. Oh, of course. Now white is suddenly winning, as you guys can see. Not the worst of positions for black. After the rooks came off, actually crazy that white did not win this. They made a draw in this position, by the way. White can just, I don't know, it's not too complicated, but they made a draw. Well played, both of you. And that brings us to, well, we need to start checking the top players now in the tournament, the top page. And Leopold Amy is not running away with the tournament, but has gotten a good groove, not going down a single game, really helping Cape Town Chess Club to hang steadfast with Steinitz. And I think Steinitz was very dominant in the previous tournament, so it'll be up to players like this to really fight back. And Leopold Amy is David Gluckman. Cool. So David Gluckman, and we are now at 1 hour of the stream mark, but not of the tournament. 1 hour. David Gluckman is playing the black side of this position against Andrew FB00, who doesn't have a rating yet. Who's Andrew Bartoli, I guess. Now that was a pretty sad draw. Open files. Yeah, by. I'm not exactly sure what you're saying, Greg Baker. But that game was definitely won for Open Files. At least Open Files didn't lose that game. It looked like it might go badly. Did I type the name incorrectly? Oh, Bartoli. Okay, yeah. From Manyanani. Against Cape Town Chess Club A, and this David Gluckman playing for this very old and great chess club. I'm not exactly sure what the stats are on the club. I think it's around 130 years old. Maybe it's their 135th birthday now soon. Great to know chess was around in the country for so long even. And we do, well, I prefer black in this position. It seems like he's already got quite a solid plan. Going to press b4, a3, and attack there on the king side. Maybe even b4 immediately. He might retreat his light squared bishop until he sees exactly what he wants to do. And I think if David Gluckman's playing, his son Paul Gluckman should be playing as well. And we had this little, I think we should make a tradition to see who does best between father and son in this tournament, between the Gluckmans. And let me just see if they're both if they're all in the pairings for the tournament. Okay, so Mo is playing. Moedian. Let's see if we see his father. Yeah, Shabir is playing. So we'll see if between the two of them who does the best this time. This time Leopold, Amy, David Gluckman is doing the best in the entire tournament. And is the other Gluckman playing? That's the question. I'm scanning through the names. I'm not seeing another one. So we'll only have one interesting one to follow. Ah, that's a shame. I'm getting a long line here from Greg on E1. Okay, I see. Yeah, if he throw in the queen back maybe on E1. Okay, that does make sense. Yeah, Open Files at least fortunately did not lose that game, and in the end of the game it was lost. But his opponent felt that things were too threatening still with those pawns around, so that was a good. It felt kind of like poker, where you just trying to not give away your hands because what he was holding wasn't good enough for a draw actually. So very lucky there, but actually deserved that. I sometimes feel like that type of luck falls upon you after some bad luck does. So, and the bad luck was not converting that position earlier. Very interesting. Now going b4. Wow. Why? You can't go rook c8 to defend the pawn because the knight's round. But trading and then doing it means both rooks have entered. Floppy the dog. Okay, so there's another Gluckman playing. Okay, so I just didn't see it on the list. Okay, I'll look for it. Okay. All's good. Okay. So we will see this time. Last time both sons did the best. Yeah, this has been strange actually. These last few moves from black. I think white is going to press for the win over here. Setting up a bit of a tactic. So we're looking at rook h1, bishop f3, and rook takes, bishop takes, knight takes. Two pieces for the exchange for white. And not too many big threats. Be careful, just throw your rook back. Don't want to give up your bishop to stop anything weird over there. Although you do have king h2. Maybe you will just play f4 or something. Andrew should have this game, I think. And we'll see David go down for the first time, actually. Rook e3. Rook e3, not going for any of that off the f4. I think he guesses the king will be fine on h2, and no sense in coordinating against these pieces. It's not happening for him yet. Is he provoking knight? What's wrong with knight e5? Okay, we won't know because it's not going to happen. This is a good construction. These rooks are never breaking through on the king side, and Andrew can now focus on. And this isn't Andrew McInnes, by the way. Saw his name in the list as well. This is Andrew Bartoli. What's up, James Dinham? You want to know what's up? What's up is that you aren't in one of the good regions where they have these great chess tournaments for their club members. Andrew, yeah. Yeah. But I'll play some games against you, James, someday. I need to make up some rating points. I lost a bit over there trying to break into the SA, into that list on the SA Chess Online. Whoa, that was close. None of that was really necessary, but okay, here we are. Black now, not believing his luck. He's also going to get rook takes a3. Is that the best he can do? Oh, okay. No, I know City Bang has got an online league, but it's not completely just for club players. Whoa, whoa! Both sides are hitting each other with checkmate threats. Getting the king down here would have been checkmate, by the way. No, no, no. Wait, that square's still open. But wow, who's standing the better? If wow, I really don't know. If White can get rid of both these pawns and these pawns, which yes, if it's possible, it would be impressive if he manages to do so. Meanwhile, down on the clock, I don't know if it's going to happen. Black can potentially try and shift the attention to this side of the board as well if the bishop moves too often. Meanwhile, I think Black might even be trying to set up some king trap or... there's no back rank ideas, I think, on the side of the board. He's left it, but he's definitely liking the fact that Andrew is now down a lot of time on the clock. Yep. He still can't go after the pawn every time. So, taking the pawn will just... Yeah, that is exactly James' point. Just sack the rook for pawn and bishop. There you go. And now the knight's too far away. Maybe he's watching the game live as well. Oh, don't make a queen immediately. And that's the last thing you need to do. A nice prediction there by James. So he saw this position and realized this is what Black is trying to do. I was fixated on the idea that White can't take the pawn and Black can't push the pawn. So this is a bit of a freezed moment. But meanwhile, Black was just setting up the right moment to sack the rook for pawn and bishop so that he can divert the attention there. And actually the knight isn't fast enough. Well done there, David Gluckman. I think this really gives him the lead. 16 points with fire. We have Transcendent Wisdom again. And let's jump into Transcendence game. This looks wild. This looks like a wild game. Against Blackjack 1. So let's just timestamp that. That's 110. Now that previous game was very nice. I had no idea David would fight back from that. I think a lot of it started with those two rooks entering on the first rank. That should not have happened. But this game is looking very aggressive. And see who they are. Blackjack 1 is Llewellyn Low. And versus Transcendent Wisdom, Duncan and Gender. And, well, okay, I just jumped into this point of the game where I just saw a bunch of pawns over here, and it looked pretty crazy. But I'm actually very curious as to how we got here. By the way, this is now a threat, I guess. This check followed by knight check. Even ideas of just... Oh, this is looking very good for Black. But how did he manage this? Quick queenside castles as well. Okay. Doesn't look like Black did anything too crazy. It's just the White's queenside attack never really got going. And this is the position we've reached with knight c4. Just stopping a lot of these diagonal ideas. This knight check is a way to get material, but as Black you're hoping for way more than this. Thinking knight takes rook takes because you want to play with this open file. And There you go. White finds an interesting idea. Very interesting. Yeah. I like these ideas actually. They would keep the game alive. Knight g5. Okay, so if I go knight takes h4, then the bishop on e6 is also hanging. So going for this trade, okay, this does make sense, and black should still be better, but that was quite a good move. I was just highlighting this moment. If knight takes h4, knight takes e6 or something like that, even rook takes e6, I don't know. In any case, we had knight takes, bishop takes, and now f takes, pawn takes, and I'm expecting rook to f2, even queen check or something very annoying, or rook f2 first. Maybe he's even considering just sacking the rook on h2, king takes. Wow, that something like queen c3, even if king g2 should be pretty devastating. You could maybe start with queen c6 check, king here, and then rook takes. Now I think he calculated this. This is what he's doing. Transcendent wisdom has found a line that looks a bit like this. If king takes, rook check, king goes back, rook check in the corner. So, whoa, rook here. Give another check. That's what's so annoying about this line. King goes back, queen mate. So rook takes h2 should win the game. Ah, interesting. Okay, I need just to prove some of my points though. So when I'm analyzing, I like to prove my points. Rook takes h2 should be working. So I'm not too sure about this move. And you want to really make sure you're playing the most precise aggressive moves. Which brings me back to my point I made earlier on that you really should be now, when you do have an aggressive position, you should try to find the most forcing lines, because if white defends this properly, if he manages to defend, you're suddenly down 2 pawns, and you're really wondering what went wrong. I don't think black will be going down here. The attack is still happening, but I've seen this too often. Attack's just fizzling out. Rook e2 though. White still has quite a lot of ammo for this position. This check. Whoa. No. Is he planning? Who knows? If white defends, Transcendent Wisdom is really going to be wishing he actually spent the time to calculate rook takes h2. And I don't know, Irion, I don't know, is there an option between chess and Netflix in general? I know it's not just my stream happening at the moment. In particular, I'd be excited about watching. Well, I've been saying so the whole time. I'm excited for the titled arena later. I don't know if Magnus will be playing. I think he's playing at the moment, so I don't even know why you guys are watching me. But we do have some really great South African chess players, and well, these are the guys you need to beat if you ever want to play against Magnus. So my stream can help you with that. So Magnus can only help you with your swagger. So I'm liking this last move, g3. I just think it's going to transition into an endgame that's not great for black, because it feels like he's trying to aim for this idea. And after king takes f3, there, I don't know if there's anything else. This queen check isn't there, so you've got this check, but king g2. And suddenly black is really feeling down a lot of points. Oh, Magnus is boring. Thanks, guys. Ah, that's the point I was missing. Ah. Don't go for the rook, go back for the queen. Okay, but this does not mean the game's over. White's got 2 rooks and 3 pawns for queen and a bishop, and these players are two strong players. So the game's going to be very interesting. And one thing that makes the game more tricky, by the way, why not queen f4, trying to coordinate over there? One thing that makes this more tricky is that the rooks are actually... the rooks are working quite well together. Not anymore, though. They weren't defending this point. And thanks, Greg, for those compliments. Okay, so you got the bishop and queen kind of looking at these light squares. So I'd be looking at that check when that pawn was kind of still there, because if rook stops it, you can always pin that rook. There goes another pawn. Transcendent Wisdom is now up 3 pawns. Was technically down a pawn when he went into this different type of exchange situation, but now he's up 3 pawns and proving the point that rook h2 move was way stronger than going for the extra rook. Wow, this game is far from over. He's gonna have to move his queen to f8. What? What? I'm in shock. This game has just gone up and down so many times. I can't handle this. And if it goes up and down again, I mean, I'm out. Just wait a minute, guys. A good move here would have been c6 and then going b4 like this. But I guess white is threatening to give up the exchange, take the bishop. So that's why he moved the bishop. And this now seems kind of far off, so he might just need to move the bishop again. But he's not scared of this, so that's what kind of happened here. And Blackjack will be taking the game. Mr. Llewellyn Low. And what a crazy game it has been. That black offers draw. 2 seconds on the clock. Going down, and white declines draw, obviously. Okay, so an hour has gone by, and we still have strong competition here from Cape Town Chess Club and Steinitz A. They're really battling for that first place. And David Glockman still in the lead. He's just starting a game. Let's jump into that game. Against Hibernator M. We have an English. Mr. Hibernator M, who are you? Maxwell Solomon. And this is actually... you guys can help me out if I'm incorrect here. Maxwell Solomon is Kenny Solomon's younger brother, or a sibling or something. But this guy is not a joke. Trust me, this guy, especially in classical chess apparently. You can imagine getting training with Kenny. So David Glockman, Maxwell Solomon, and hour 23. Oh, he's his older brother. Okay, thanks. Someone told me they were playing like training games against Maxwell Solomon. Yeah, Maxwell, you can obviously conclude that he... Yeah, thanks, Irion. Never compliment someone like Quentin too. That's why he... If you know you can diss someone, then it's usually a good sign that they've got confidence. If you can't diss someone, if you feel too bad about doing it, then it's actually a shame. But if you feel that you've got the liberty to really banter someone, it's usually a good sign that that person is well balanced. By the way, both these squares are really big places for the knights to jump to. So white will be the first one to do so, knight d5. And black is still a while away from getting one of these knights to the d4 square. So there's a slight edge for white. I would be thinking he'd be trying to cure that square. Just move the bishop away to defend this pawn. Maybe bishop g4, maybe even just bishop d2. And then really try and get in this move. Meanwhile, what is he really doing with a4? I don't know. One of the things I think that happens as a commentator is you're not looking at the game as if you're really playing it. You see what immediately grabs your attention, while some of their ideas are already a bit deeper because they've been investing in it two moves earlier when the position didn't look like it's looking now. So sometimes as a commentator it makes you a bit stronger. You get a fresh look on each position, and trying to do so in every game is difficult. By the way, 95 now. I'm not seeing what's too wrong with it. You're forcing this. You don't need to defend the e4 pawn anymore. Black is gifting you the move. But David doesn't want it. Okay, so there maybe is a point for a4, a5, making sure that knight stays at home in lockdown. Just lock down Black's knights. And then lock down the d5 square. I guess 95 now. I'm just playing that knight to d5. At the moment it isn't even tradable. You can go knight d5. If knight takes, then the bishop's trapped, so that's not a possibility. Knight d5, the queen needs to move, and then you're pushing this queen back. In any case. There we go, finally. I wonder what was the big issue about playing it earlier on. Maybe now that the queen's here, he can recapture with the c pawn and immediately win a pawn. So for him to go into a line, he must see something like a pawn at the end of it. No, that's just rude. I think David has got deeper positional ideas when he plays something like knight d5. Obviously a pawn is worth it, but there were one or two other things he wanted to try before going for this. By the way, knight b6 feels like one of those moves. After you've made it, you kind of think to yourself, wow, great square for the knight. But then the queen moves and it's not really doing anything anymore on the queen's side. It's just looking to go back to d5. And kind of regret spending an entire move on it. Maybe now knight b6 and you've got the file to work with. Get the king out, go to h2 and then try knight b6, something like that. Black is also not biting the bait. He's just waiting around, hasn't gone knight takes, which might also be one of the issues with my original pretensions with going knight d5, is that Black is never really forced to take the knight. Nothing really forces him to take the knight and allow you a protected passed pawn. Yeah, I think I should play a 10 games, not necessarily even a stream, just an offline event. Maybe like chess.com's got Adopt a Danny. I'll play Adopt a Quentin. But I'll make the odds a bit more tricky for myself, since Quentin's so much weaker than I am. I'll make it something like an adoption is something like 50-0 or something like that. So, by the way, 95 now might be forcing the trade of knights. If the queen, the queen can still cover the d8 square. So, I don't know. I'm just trying ideas. I don't know if you guys can hear, but we're in the Cape at my mother's at the moment. My girlfriend's having a heated conversation inside. So the storm is over, but there's now a storm inside in the living room. Okay, come on, 95. What's your knight really doing on the queen side? There's a lot of waiting around in this game. I'm definitely, after this game, I want to go see what both the doctors are up to. We'll go to Shubs and Linden. I'm very excited to see them playing. Is there any interesting line starting with knight takes d5, bishop takes, putting your knight on some crazy square like e3? No, trust me, that does not look good. Ah, finally, this is he wanted to play the whole time. Knight check, and we were looking at this as well. He finally got the chance to. Very, very happy there for Mr. Dr. Falsey. Let's look at this game. I think someone else is saying we should go look at Coronavirus's account, but I think he meant this account. And this is Mo Bawadian versus. Let's just make sure of the name. Andre Rode. Mr. Andre Rode against Mo Bawadian. And so far the game hasn't exploded. It's still relatively friendly. So yeah, he did miss 97 check. That was a shame. It was a tactic that was around on the board since 95 was there, but it's one of those things you can kind of allow the knight to be there, but just keep in mind there's that one tactic you need to look out for. And so Maxwell kind of missed. Well, I don't think he missed the idea earlier on. He was kind of playing around with it, but then he got distracted when the actual position came where it would be played. So yeah, that's what happened. Okay. And Mo there with a very solid rating, below the 2300s. Last tournament it was above, but still rocking an impressive rating. Always nice to, I think, especially for these events, you want to kind of push your rating up before the start. Psychologically, it can help you. So, especially as the events become slower, start working on your rapid ratings, start working on your classical ratings, so that you could intimidate those players. And it's actually adding some value to online chess in general. Oh, wow. Okay, winning the exchange with this last move. The only move that is kind of hanging on to the bishop as well is something like rook e8, and then knight takes is possible. So that's why I was thinking he's just going to leave the rook on a8 after the trade, go queen takes a8. And Mo is already up in exchange. Now my point was that playing online is, if you take it seriously, it could actually benefit your chess a lot. And by that I mean is, so like do play Blitz and stuff like that, but afterwards go analyze your games. So Lichess has this function of requesting a computer analysis, and then you go do that, and you go to the points where you see the graph changing. That usually means there's like a mistake or something. And okay, cool, go to the mistake and try and realize why it's a mistake. Also look for the best move and try and verbalize it. Look at what the line does differently. I don't know what's easy to say. Yeah, it's easy to say afterwards that he just missed the move. He didn't really miss 97 check. He missed it in that moment. And that's one of those blunders you make, but you're really angry at yourself because it's not like you didn't see it. You just missed it that once. Like you saw it and forgot about it, and then you're angry at yourself for forgetting about it. Ah, cool. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting it right. David is the older player. Paul is also playing. And we're looking now at a game between Mo and Andre Rode. And Mo should be taking this game home. He's already won the exchange. Now he's looking at this weak backwards d6 pawn. And well, he's not able to take it immediately, but he'll. Okay, so I guess the issue with bishop here is allowing this with tempo, and he's saying that might not be the worst square for my bishop for the time being. I don't want to really push it back. I'll give the files for my rooks. It's a cool idea. And what's wrong with bishop f7? Actually now drops the knight, so move the king instead. And how is he going to be prepped taking this pawn? He needs another attacking piece. So you can maybe triple the rooks, not seeing that immediately. On a scale of 1 to 10, how angry can you get playing chess online? I don't know, like me or anyone, like, I get pretty angry. But I have like short outbursts where I just like hit the table and swear or whatever, just like but once, and then it's over. Yeah, that's how angry I do get. I got that angry 2 days ago. I even spoke about this mouse flip a while ago, but I was up a queen against the 2400, and that would have been the game I needed to get above 2300 Blitz. Now, I'd spent the previous day also just playing chess, trying to get there. So, now this game I needed, and instead of moving the queen sideways, it slipped and went forwards where pawn could take it, and then I ended up losing that game. And well, this is if black wants it, but white is happy to trade down material. Black might still have a few things here. I don't know if Mo should be too comfortable. In any case, that is when I was so angry. So I'd say on a level of general angriness, if I had to compare it on a scale, I don't know even how you should do that, because if I should compare it to how angry I am at the system, or how angry I am at some other drivers on the road, if there's even a way of linearly measuring those, the angriest I've been, I'd say chess is by far the highest anger I ever experience is a mouse slip of a queen. That rates above a scale of 1 to 10. I mean, you could be angry at the capitalist society for the way it tends to make some people poor and some rich in a very unfair manner, but a mouse slip of a queen, that's not even a joke. That is the worst angry you can ever be, and that's also why I've been recommending players to put on. I don't know if you could even, if it would be viable to do so in an event with 5+2, but especially in a rapid game, just put on move confirmation. You don't want to blunder that queen. Muzer has actually caused himself a bit of uncomfortableness here. Now this knight is still around and it's going to go for that b2 pawn now. I think that there's some trickiness after knight b2, rook d6, something like this. And after the trades or whatever, queen c8 is kind of Mo's idea. Yeah, James, it's definitely a 10. If there was a higher number. I also get that a lot. Our girlfriends don't understand, everyone. It's not just the game. I mean, you know what the funniest, I sometimes also just swear out of happiness as well. That is also, I think on a scale of 1 to 10 of happiness, it also, there's some things in life that can provide more happiness, but there's nothing that comes quite as close to that game you start losing. Whoa, by the way, queen trap. I think Dr. Fauci or Andre Rode is experiencing a 10 on the scale of happiness. He didn't blunder an exchange, but he fell victim to an exchange, and now he's picking up a queen for a bishop. So he's experiencing a lot of happiness here. Yeah, chess is a way of life, but no, I wanted to tell the story of, I think it was 2, 3 days ago. I was playing and I was definitely lost, but I just continued going, and this was one of those guys that they really wanted to rub it in your face that they are winning and you should be resigning. So he goes and he queens every pawn to a knight, and then these knights start running towards my king, and I'm just moving around the same like perpetual pre-move thing, and the guy ends up stalemating me. It was just, oh, it was the best experience. Yeah. Mo did kind of ruin this game for him, and he's still he's still fighting though. He did kind of mess it up again. He's still in there. I don't know if he's going to really go down, because look at this rook e1 threat. I think you need to uh, proactively play king h2 now. Yeah, to take the here with check. Yeah, he wants to play something like this. Whoa, be careful now. He has a lot of... Oh my word. If ever there was an up and down game, I must say, Andre Rode had a very happy moment just now. But Mo's moment is even better. That he managed to win this game. This is madness. Speaking about happiness. No, Greg Baker. I think there's one example in particular in this country that need not even be named for showing his emotions over the board. But it's a very passionate game. You need to be passionate. In any case, look at David Gluckman running away with this tournament. And Ethan Samuel is also still in there. What does this mean for the overall standings? 86-76. Steiners A is not running away with the tournament as they did last time, and their top players aren't really... I want to go watch Shub's game. Yeah, now that you guys are mentioning these... Yeah, we're looking at two doctors playing here against each other, if I'm correct. Shabir versus Lyndon Bua. This could be my favorite matchup so far. In any case, where did the piece go? So it was a sacrifice here from Lyndon. Very aggressive player, as we all know. And he just sacked a piece on the other side of the board where the king is, just for some play on this side of the board. So if that is aggression, I don't know what is. In any case, yeah, it would be interesting to know if, like, to have like a hidden camera to see like all the like bursts of the players, and if I were like Apple or Microsoft or what, like all these scaly companies that look through your cameras. In any case, like somewhere you did sign some kind of permission thing for them to look through your cameras. If I were them, I'd just be interested in seeing all the rage quits and slams after chess games. That would just be so funny. But there might then be truth in the fact that it is just the game, and that's why it is kind of funny when you do lose like that. I remember when I was growing up, in Potch playing one of the tournaments against the police officer from Klerksdorp or something. I was just not that the guy was really short-tempered, but the idea that he's sitting on the other side of the table with a gun kind of pointing at you, it was pretty intimidating. from under the table. I wouldn't be surprised if after something like Bishop F4 we see an exchange sack, since Dr. Shubs is already up some material. But wow, okay, lifetime score. Linden has got a great score. 3-0, that is, well, it's not adoption territory, but it's still pretty decent. He is on the defensive now, so yeah, intimidation technique. Well, there's a few tactics I've heard of on like, not necessarily national level, but there were always like a few jokes going around, like the Gauls that would play against the guys and put their hands under the table, stuff like that. Just some funny stories. Ways to win games. By the way, I don't think Dr. Linden will be surviving this. Even, I'm looking at a lot of coordination, but F6 is also a great square. There's a pin here at the moment. Also sacks over here, and the H-file opening up. There are very alternative ways of winning chess tournaments, now that I think about it. Not all of them are the greatest tactics. There's a bit of off of the board tactics, and Rook G5, last move, 1 for white. What are you saying? Rook G5. What am I missing? Knight E4, followed by Knight E6. Oh, are you looking at the previous game? I feel like Knight E4 was kind of the move that was missed here. And now it's very tricky to deal with. No, I remember there was... it was just this time in chess. Obviously, if you're going to play essays, just don't have your phone in your bag. But, I don't know, when you're like 18 and stuff, you have more confidence. And you really don't think you're going to get called out for it. Especially this one guy, I'm not going to mention any names, but he's playing against a friend of his with his phone in his bag. And, well, he was playing, and I think it was like one of those games where he kept on playing, and I think he thought he might win in any case, so he wasn't going to call out his friend for having his phone in his bag. But then it went a bit south, and, well, okay, he did. And that's how he ended up winning the game, even though the phone was off and everything. Rook G5 this game. Am I missing a square? Rook. Yeah, Rook G5 would have won the game as well. Yeah, sorry. Why am I not... I think Dr. Linden is not going to resign again. Rook G6 might be some kind of defensive resource. Oh, Rook G5 immediately. There's a lot going on after this move, right? So, Dr. Linden not finding a defense and now giving in his first loss against Shubs. There we go. One of the doctors goes down. 31 minutes left. David Gluckman taking a lead here, but Shabir not far behind. What does that mean for the overall standing? Stein is still not too comfortable lead. 7 points, 6 leaders. That's just a point each, so it's not that far off. Yeah, Iriona, they're not friends anymore. Yeah. Okay, so who should we look at? I'm thinking. We did get a lot of... We got some of Mo's games. Lion King, by the way, coming in over there. Did Lion King play in the previous tournament? I'm not too sure. It feels like it. Okay, so I'm gonna stay to Shub's games, and playing here against Ethan Samuel, Steinitz A, and this looks very cool. Okay, so we've got an aggressive game set out for us. Opposite side castles. It's going to be aggressive and sharp. And immediately, the center is being targeted, which you should know if your king is still going to be in the center in a position like, whoa, 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 whoa. I was going to say Ethan is playing soundly, but then the doctor showed us knight c3. Wow. Okay, still not sure. The game can go either way. Bishop takes, stopping castling. Is black just going to recapture here, or even with the queen and try and go for the endgame? Since he's up a bit of material. That could be an idea, yeah, maybe. Maybe g3. Okay, so did castle at the cost of a pawn. But I'd be happy to get castled at the cost of that pawn. Oh, well. This is kind of an outpost for this bishop. Manalisi. Oh, let me just timestamp this game. And Ethan Samuel. Okay, cool. And the doctor's to be favored over here. Number 2 versus number 3. Actually quite a big pairing for this tournament. For the individual standings. I think Manyanani's a bit behind Steinitz. I don't know if they're in the... I mean, Cape Town's obviously the chasing party at the moment. But for Manyanani, this would also be a big game. And white resigns. I'm guessing down a bit of material. Let's see how bad the eval is. Oh, that check was just great. Wow. If pawn takes, check, also hitting the queen. Okay. A3. Oh. Okay, so one of the big points is, and I was missing this, is that this this diagonal is opening, also meaning this bishop is suddenly weak. There's no really stopping this diagonal from opening, and let's try something like this. A takes B. Oh, this is also the other issue, so... okay, in any case, let's get back to the tournament. The doctor playing really well. He's on the heels now of David, and I'm thinking he's going to be catching up to him soon. Actually a big game for Manyanani. On 74, 87, 98 though. Tricky to say if Steinitz A is in big trouble here. In that case, let's stick to the doctor, who's having... well, he's quite on fire so far. So let's stick to him for now. Then you can see side sunset. And specifically when you go knight c3, you need to know that white's preparing f4. He's not going knight f3 for a reason. And here, whoa, what's the deal with queen takes? This is obviously some very sharp... Whoa! That was a quick win for Shubs, and he's now in the lead, but... Wow, what is wrong with queen takes? f2. This is all preparation. King d1. King f8. Oh, I think he... Wait, there's something wrong with king f8. Oh, king f8, sorry. Then this doesn't come with check, and you're defending this pawn. Knight h3. Wow, okay, so some very sharp things in this line. And Mo was saying so earlier as well. We were looking at some of Shub's prep, and he's got some very interesting lines going. And actually, I should not have gone away. This is Shubs and Dr. Lindenbua playing again. And they're in the gambit with b5. Very aggressive gambit. And trying to manually castle now is Shubs. I think he might still be in prep because he's getting castled. e5, and who do I prefer here? I'm thinking white by quite a bit. Well, okay, black's got rooks on open files, but they're just looking at 2 pawns, which are both defended. And meanwhile, white seems to have something going for himself on this side of the board. If he can manage to liquidate all the pieces, he's definitely got advantage. He's up a pawn, and this is a healthy outside passed pawn, playing for the e6 square. Sharps is going to be looking to rectify his lifetime score with Dr. Linden. And this seems to be a good game to do so in. Do you start by making the knight uncomfortable? There's this one check. You can step out of it. It's not too bad. So after knight h6, I'm thinking of ways to break through on the f2 square. And even use some ideas like this that don't seem to be working at the moment. So maybe after knight h6, something like knight g5. He gives the check, but I'm not buying what it does. King h1, yep. Knight h3, ooh, okay. Okay, that's aggressive. Okay, so obviously knight g3 check is the idea here. Going after the queen and the king. And actually that's going after the king. That's not just check, that's checkmate. You need to stop the knight from getting over here. Wow. Okay. Dr. Linden, you do not play. He does not play around. He lets his knight hang momentarily for either a queen or mate. The queen would be in this line. So the mate would be in a line where the queen goes away. "23 minutes to go." And Dr. Shubs has been doing a lot of work to take down the Steinitz A players. Man alone. Knight e4 to stop this idea. And wait, I just quickly need to add a timestamp to the game. This is 1:54. And it's actually pretty cool, I must say, that two doctors playing. I'm not sure if anyone can help me in the capacity of what they're doctors in, medical doctors or doctorate degrees in anything. It would be pretty interesting, just academically. Because specifically I'm thinking about Magnus's nickname, Dr. Nichterstein, which in Norwegian means doctor in like drunkenness or something, Dr. Drunkenness. So we actually have legit doctors, and actually in Africa as well. What Dr. Amin Basim. I mean, why is Magnus even pretending to be a doctor of any capacity? We are the real deal. Okay, Dr. Shubs is a dentist. We've got over here. And Dr. Linden. And their games take on such interesting character, always. Now, it's like there's a fight for this G3 square and also for this F7 square. Very interesting. "20 minutes to go." Still a big pairing. I've got a big support here in Greg Baker. He just doesn't like Magnus. Magnus is good though. It's the guy can play chess. I think whoa. Give these games chances to explode and they will. These two do not play around with tactics. Here's the idea. Knight d3, opening up this skewer. It should be getting back material, but importantly getting rid of this bishop on f4. Very cool. Insane stuff. Oh, how to deal with this? I'm a bit at a loss. It feels like black is better, even though he's now down a rook. This knight on d3, you need to tend to it. What about queen d2? Knight takes rook. Yeah. This was such a nice move by Dr. Linden. I don't know, I've generally been reassessing the entire online chess situation recently. It's very interesting. I think it's interesting now that everything is changing towards online chess. As an arbiter myself, it's really tricky to say if chess is really that fair. If it moves online, I think we are in a cool generation for chess in general. But it would be a bit naive to say that everything is idyllic. And what is happening here? How was that dealt with? Sorry. Queen d2 was the move, and Dr. Linden immediately went knight takes f4. He doesn't want to be up material. That's one thing I've noticed so far. He doesn't like the feeling. He wants to give you the feeling that you are in control. By the way, knight g3 check. Knight can't take because of queen checkmate. And what other options does white have? King h2, and I'm guessing after that you can play knight takes here. So, okay, knight here check, king here. And there might not be a good follow-up. Queen check, king here then. But then you still got this check. So black can go back for the material if he wants to. But Dr. Linden showing us he just doesn't want material at all. Doesn't want material. Wants a pawn to run free. Wants that pawn to get in some exercise. And wants his king to be stressed. He wants that king to stress a bit before the end of the game as well. The king can't be too safe ever. What about rook d7? I'm just thinking about simple attacking chess. Okay, I'm stepping out. I don't know what to say. I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy this. This is madness. Okay, how are they dealing with it as well? No, Dr. Shubs will be getting this game. That was just too fancy from both of them. Queen f7. Queen h7, mate. I think Shubs sees it, he's just breathing. What? Queen f7, queen h7, mate. Even queen takes f8, mate. What? No. Those are grade 1 tactics. Oh, there he gets it. Okay. Yeah, you can take the bishop as well. Okay, let's just go back. That was the most insane game I've probably ever seen. And white has got the advantage here. The recommended move here is just e7. And if black makes a queen, you just recapture, so that's fine. Knight f6 here. Okay, brilliant game there by Shubs. Whoa, wait, where's the tournament now? Okay. That was crazy. And if he gets the first place because of this, he totally deserves to do so. By the way, where are the sons? They are not keeping with their fathers today. Mo and, well, we did see the name of, I think, just go back again and see if we can find him. Oh, Andre Roda is Mr. Coronavirus. That's why. I'm not finding. Okay, we'll go back for that later. Let's get to a game. Okay. I think we should just stick to Shubs. He's kind of on fire. I'm playing against Tapelo 101. Going for another one of these. Mo told us the name of this opening a while ago, where you just go f5. I've never learned the name because I've never considered it really a serious opening. But if you do some serious preparation, I guess it's good. Yeah, playing a great tournament. Tapelo 101. Let's see your full name. Tapelo Matsaung. Okay, so I wonder if Tapelo can survive the Wrath, which is the Doctor at the moment. Playing some great chess. That was crazy. The power went off for like 3 seconds. Just before the end of the tournament, when the drama is actually happening, Tapelo's up quite a lot of material here, and this is actually a big game. He's playing for UCTA section, so sorry for missing that. That was pretty unexpected. Tried putting my mobile hotspot on while the big Wi-Fi was off, but didn't have time for that. And I was busy commenting there just to give a timestamp of the game. Tapelo Matsaung is going to be taking down the Mr. Dr. Shubs. And he might be making his life more difficult than it needs to be. Andre Rode, you are Dr. Falsey. But that's what I can't figure out. Andre Rode, that's your like username, coronavirus. Was there actually a person? I'm forgetting. Feels like there's definitely. Maybe the Doctor can hold on. Maybe he can. I mean, he's done a full piece. But he's got some rook activity. 2 pawns, but they're not very bright pawns, to be honest. They're just doubled pawns. And he's dropping at least the A pawn, I guess. B6, rook B7, rook C8. You need to play that. Okay. So he'll be dropping the A7 pawn. Unless he's got another idea of giving check and defending. I'm not. This is also what I was looking at, but then you're dropping the C pawn as well. Maybe he says he can trap the bishop. Let's say King G8. He wants you to take the pawn to trap the bishop. Oh, clever tactic. The man is very quick. The man is quick. He doctors himself out of these little issues. Now he's dropping the pawn though. He can't possibly hold on to the pawn anymore. And okay. Oh, he doesn't go down lightly. He's managed to get a pawn over there. I don't know how this guy does it. Be careful, he's also just going to play b4 and disrespectfully, after bishop takes, he's going to go take your rook. I was expecting b4. What? b4. He wants to harass this bishop now. You know what? If he does win this game... No, I don't even want to know if he's getting the bishop back. King c7. White can probably not believe his eyes. White just simply cannot believe it. He's up a piece in a very simple endgame. And there it goes back. And he might even be worse now because of all those pawns. I mean, what is he getting in return for this bishop that's going away? This is just... Nah. This is not right. This is really not right. This is not right. What? And when did this all go so wrong? Even here, maybe going for some of the pawns at least would have been good if you knew that the bishop would be gone here. But Tapelo Matsung is just in the thing now. There's nothing to do. He's giving it back. Yeah. Dr. Shubs is a magician in his off time. Well, he's a magician over the board here. This should not be happening. This is just... No. He's going to end up winning this game before the tournament ends. And getting another 4 points. This is weird. I really can't believe it. He was down a full piece over there. What's up, Shane, Clayton, Willenberg? Another Willenberg in the house. And Shubs did bring his bag of tricks. This is madness. This is really not... This is not fair. Like... He's gonna maybe play rook a4 now. Yeah, he's winning the king pawn endgame. And if the rooks aren't traded, then he's just winning the a pawn. And he's gonna win this game. Well done to him. I can't praise him actually enough for this win. Yeah, maybe let's just give it time to be over first before I do. That might just be a bit early. But I think psychologically he's just... back to what we were talking about earlier. The happiest you can be is winning a lost game. That's the happiest you can be. You've already discarded the game as losing, and you just continue. And I've seen some swindles. This is among the top 10 of all-time swindles I've ever seen. This was not supposed to be... Well, I can't say win yet, but it wasn't supposed to even be a draw if he manages to draw this. So he's now scared of taking his king up too far for dropping the h pawn. Because I think even if you do manage to get this pawn up, if this rook sacks itself for the h pawn, these two pawns together with the king should still be enough to draw the game for white. But he'll go for it now. Okay, so yeah, just make sure that the rook doesn't get behind the pawn. So you'll want to bring the rook up, maybe even to b4. Now if the rook falls back, so I'm expecting rook a4. Oh, no, not even necessary. b2 now. Definitely b2 with the idea of bringing that rook to b3. No, this is not what I like. He's actually been swindling really well. b2 immediately would have had the same idea. He's planning rook b5. Now the doctor can still hear my commentary afterwards. This is fortunately YouTube. Yeah, Tapelo is having one of the most angry experiences over here. Um, on the scale of 1 to 10, this is the all-time. This is an all-time low. Even these two pawns won't be enough. The king and rook are going to be pretty quick. Let's just see this pan out. And I wonder which curse words are going through Tapelo's mind at the moment. Wow, Dr. Shubs is not even going to worry about playing king and rook against these two pawns. He says, nope, give me a full queen before I go for that. Rook d2 and rook d1. We will see a black queen on the board. And actually, wait, there's no rook d1. This rook is pinned. This is game over. Tapelo is throwing a swear word just before he lets his time run out. Okay. What a game. I'm just surprised at that win. No one was expecting that. And that really leaves him in first place for the last 3 minutes. And let's do what I usually do at the end of these tournaments and just see the final standings as the time runs out over here. I don't think Dr. Shubs will get paired again. And Greg Baker is still not finished praising me. You should listen to Irion. Don't praise me. My ego will just explode. So, in any case, let's just watch the end of the tournament. This has been a great tournament so far. Steinitz A and Cape Town Chess Club A, they really still going after each other there. 5 points difference. By the way, Manyanani not out of the running. 99. 6 points. That is the same difference between first and second. Third and fourth, though, also very close. Then there's a bit of a gap. UCT A behind Blackjacks A. And MRL, a new team to this page. By the way, Panageo playing first board there for MRL, which is weird because this is supposed to be Colvin's team, I think, being led by him. And Andre Rode there, leading Kraaifontein A. I think it's you, right? Andre Rode, you didn't come back to my response. And Stellenbosch, Chess Club A. I don't know. Don't you guys have Daniel Barish? Like, what's the deal? Where's Howzit Brew? That guy, he can play some Blitz for you guys. Minute 30 to go. Manyanani on 100 points. Bit of a gap now between second place. But first place, second place, 5 points gap is not the end of the world. That could still be reached within a minute. In any case, Anatoly Karpon, I love that name, playing against Dr. Shubs there. And Shubs is full of magic. I wouldn't even have tried this last pairing against him. Even though you do have 5 minutes on the clock, he's probably going to get a win in before that last minute is over. Although the position looks like nothing. This guy's just going to swindle anything. "45 seconds to go. This seems like it's going to... well, we've already seen the last game, but 40 seconds to go. This kind of seems like the end of the tournament. And 116 Steinitz clearing out that lead with 10 points there. That will be in the record books, 11 points. And people will not necessarily appreciate... the closeness between Cape Town Chess Club A and Steinitz if they did not watch this video. So to get a proper perspective, always watch this video. In any case, thanks everyone for the compliments. Thanks Andre Rode, and I assume you're Dr. Fauci. And that's the end of the tournament. And thanks Istvand Gyongi and Greg Baker, Irion Low, everyone that made this stream very fun. And let's just commend the first places. So Steinitz A taking that lead in that last minute, 11 points in a minute. That is a lot of points. So just keep perspective. That was a very close run between Cape Town Chess Club A and Steinitz A. And then Manyanani on Cape Town Chess Club's A's Tail, Blackjack's A, well done, UCT A, MRL, Chess Club, Kraaifontein A, and Stellenbosch. Well done to the doctor, you really, Dr. Shabir, you deserve that. David Gluckman, Ethan Samuel, and Andre Rode, Mo Bawudian, Heine from the Stellenbosch Club A, and all the other players that participated. The other doctor over here. And needless to say, the fathers did way better than the sons today. Mo's only over here, and I'm not even sure where Paul Gluckman is. So this time the fathers took the tournament. Thanks everyone for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet, and